What's up, guys? Welcome to our locker room. You know who this is. This is Playmaker Michael Irvin, man. So happy to get a chance to talk to you here at home. I was just talking to my partners, man, Gene and Nathan, some of the guys, telling them we're so crazy as people. You know, like I'm a workaholic, right? Work, take care of everything, always worried about everything. Then and while you're stressing your whole life, you keep saying, I'm gonna get a break. I need a break. I need a break. Then when you get a break, a few hours into your break, you're like, damn, I gotta go back to work. Like it just runs me crazy, you know? like, it just runs you crazy because there's never any stop. If anybody's going to be, I think, successful in life, there's never any stop to it. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And you wish for one thing and you get it, then you say, what am I doing? I want to take a break. I get a day off. I take a few hours into the day. I'm saying I need to be working. You know, I got to learn how to relax, you know? So, yeah. But there's a lot going on in sports. It's so amazing, too, because this is what trips me out. Not in sports. First of all, the NFL ain't giving up nothing. The NFL ain't giving up nothing. All this is we're running right into right now playoff time. LeBron just got back from the Lakers. I got your boy in Boston, Jason Tatum, just kind of sprung his ankle. You got people getting hurt, and they're going right into the playoffs. This will be the thick of the football season. That's all we'll be talking about. If it was NFL time headed into the playoffs like December and January. Oh, but here, even though all that's going on, Russell Wilson steals the day. The NFL jumps in and takes the day. Russell Wilson signs with the New York Football Giants. Russell Wilson signs with the New York Football Giants. Get this deal. 1 year deal, 21 millies, 10 and a half guaranteed. 1 year, 21 million, 10 and a half million guaranteed. Ain't that crazy? My first thought when I heard this was, wow. Remember I told you guys about, it's just so much happens in this world, and then you break it all down, and the world just spinning and spinning and things going on. Listen, look at this. How is it that right now, it looks like both quarterbacks that were in Pittsburgh will be starting in New York? And the one quarterback that was in New York should be starting in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? How did Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, they still go out to dinner just like they were doing in Pittsburgh? They're right there. They're right there together, both in New York. We talked about Justin Fields. I told you how much I love that. This Russell Wilson thing, I'm thinking on it because it just went down. And I got to put the pieces together here. Like, yeah, you just signed Jameis Winston. Now Russell and Jameis Winston in the room. That's an interesting room right there. Now, okay, Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is a developed wide receiver. That when I say developed, that means I want to see him play first route and second route, timing routes. I want to see somebody drop back 3, 5, and 7 and drop the ball off to him. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to. I wanted to see him with a more traditional quarterback. Russell Wilson, he can play on script, but his best stuff comes sometimes off script. And Malik Neighbors is, I believe, an on-script receiver. Now, every receiver can play off script because all you're doing is giving him more opportunities to make plays. But his size, his strength, his speed works on strength, on on script. Let me tell you, like for me, big receiver, right? Big guy. I'm not going to outrun you. I'm not going to out quick you, but I'm going to out muscle you. So when I'm playing on script, I know where the ball is going to be and when it's going to be there, and you don't know that, I can muscle you to that area. Do bang eight or I run a slant route. I can hold you, come up under your arm, push you off, and then catch that slant route. It's not about me running away from you. It's not about me running past you. I'm bodying you. I'm playing on script. When I'm running a slant route, think about it. A slant route, quarterback dropping 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. The receiver, I'm going to go 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. He gonna drop 3. He's getting ready to throw right off the 3rd step. I'm going to run 3. I'm going to cut. I want that ball on my chest, on my 3rd step, right off my 3rd step. So I now understand the limit of time and I understand timing. So I don't have to take 3 steps to know, Mike, get your butt open right now because I'm an on-script receiver. So I can play with the cornerback and still come open. Now, if my quarterback can't get it to me, he can't read on script, then he has to play off script. He starts running around. Now I got to try to get open again to catch a ball. But that off script stuff works better for small, faster guys because they move quick in small spaces, turn around, all that off script stuff. I can play it, but I'd rather body you up. You know what I'm saying? So I want Malik Neighbors to have an on script quarterback. So when you ask me, Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston, that's going to be a battle all by itself. And let me tell you something. I like the Giants for the Giants and their situation right now. What they are doing, bringing in Russell Wilson, bringing in Jameis Winston, because you guys got to see both sides of this. Giant fans, I know we've been at odds. But my duty to you is to give you both sides of this. You know what I mean? So you'll understand all of it. R. Anderson, NC, we're going to get to that conversation. And he says here, historically, Giants have never had a starting black quarterback. Now potentially 3 options if they draft Shador. I'm getting to that in a minute, buddy. I just had to read that out, boy, because that's called spirit to spirit talking right there. That's spirit to spirit talking. So I'm going down that road right there. That's what they call. That's when they call that. They call it when deep calleth unto deep. That's that deep stuff calling unto the deep stuff. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Russell Wilson and his running around. And remember the moon ball. He's great at it. But I want somebody to run 17 yards, come back to 15, bam, that ball be there. You run 20 yards, you run a hook route, bam, that ball be there. You go in that square and bam, that ball be there. Now, Russ being smaller is what makes it harder sometimes to be on script across the middle because he's dropping back 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And those big linemen are right in his face right here. He can't throw on script across the middle. Jameis has some height, he can. But your concerns is he going to throw over the lineman and over the receiver and in the hands of the DB? So this brings me to the question that everybody should be asking right now. And that question is, should the Giants draft Shador Sanders with that 3rd pick? Now that they have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. R. Anderson and C, that's why I told you. You're right on point. And you were ahead of times. You know what I mean? And you are right, Oak Cliff Rockefeller. Things are happening fast. That's what he said. Things are happening fast, playmaker. Yeah, things are happening fast, man. And you got to get in right now and grab it. And that's what makes it so fun because we all try to build teams and see how these things work. Let me get back to this now because Russell Wilson, like I told you, can't see over those linemen. Jameis Winston can see over them. But this game is also about confidence and the book people have on you. See, and people will know, Jameis known to throw interceptions. And it's the confidence or the lack thereof. Jameis has already prayed, God, deliver me from these pick 6. I want him to deliver. Just you ain't have to put a 6 on there. I really wish you just said deliver me from these picks. And then that'll include pick 6. You see what I'm saying? Deliver me from these picks. That'll include pick 6. You can't have a pick 6 if you deliver from the picks, but that's okay. You know what I mean? That's what that's the difference right there. That's why the question is, do you still draft Shedeur Sanders? And I'm saying absolutely. Bar none quickly. Right now in a hurry. Don't let it wait. Right now. Get it up there. If you had a gun, you should shoot your pick up. Make sure nobody rushed it up there. I mean, get up there fast. Let me tell you what. Everybody, understand there are 2 parts here. There are 2 parts, 2 things working. Oh my God, Mike. 2 things working at their Phoenix here. You have the head coach, Brian DeBoer, right? You have head coach Brian DeBoer, and you have the New York Giants. You got New York Giants. You got an organization and the head coach. These are 2 entities working. And now you're going to bring in a third entity, which is Shedeur Sanders. Now, the organization focus and job is always on sustainability. Every business must sustain. Every business tries to do better the next year than they did last year. And if they're not doing better the next year than they did last year, then people start getting nervous. So the organization focus is on sustainability. Not just next year, not the year after that, but for years to come. For years to come. And they have been in this hellhole since Eli left. Eli Manning left. So now you go Russell Wilson, you go get Jameis Winston, and should you draft Shedeur Sanders? The answer is absolutely yes. Russell Wilson comes in for Brian DeBoer. See, the head coach job is on the line here. Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, he brings them in and says, guys, try to save my job. I can't mess around. I cannot just draft Shedeur Sanders and we lose this year because I won't be back next year. So this is where the organization, done right, has to do this shit right and has to do it right the right way. This man, you got to give him an opportunity to save his job. I don't mind you signing a 1-year deal with Russell Wilson. Go do what you got to do to bring Jameis Winston in and give him $7-8 million a year. That's for Brian DeBoer. Shedeur Sanders is for the New York Giants. Pass Brian DeBoer. If that don't work, Shedeur Sanders is still your future. You understand? All y'all don't start looking your finger thinking, okay, now we got Russell, maybe we take Travis or something. No. You're going to be back here again if you do that. You're going to be back here again if you do that. Now, let me give it to you. Shedeur Sanders and Malik Neighbors. Now you got something. People talk about Shedeur holds on to the ball. Shedeur held on to the ball because of the talent level and what he played with and what he raised up. He raised up those guys and put them on the highest levels and raised them up. And he took one guy, Travis Hunter, that had all kinds of ability. You give him a Malik Neighbors, an on-time receiver that can come out of a cut and make a play and then take that ball and make it dance in the end zone. You give him a Malik Neighbors like that in the NFL system, dude. And let's not forget, this is in New York. Russ has been beat up lately. Coming out of Seattle, got beat the hell up in Denver. Took a few kicks down the road last year in Pittsburgh. Had to fight to get back in that job, and then took a few hits down the road. They said, man, Russ didn't produce towards the end of the season. So Russ is going into New York to fight off that crowd coming off the fights he already had. They're going to bring those fights and throw it in the face. Russ, you ain't do nothing in Denver. Russ, that's why you kicked you out of Pittsburgh. I hope he can handle all of that. Jameis Winston, He knows what that's about. He's been dealing with that kind of backlash for his whole career. People talking about him, but never in New York like this. Man, and I hope he's ready for it. Shedeur Sanders, I know ready for it, y'all. So I'm just telling y'all right now. I know. You think Marcus McFarland asked me, you think by adding him that the Giants have a better roster than us, than the Dallas Cowboys? No, I won't take that. Because the Giants don't have, the Giants, they're still champs. Well, they're starting to come together, the offensive line. But I was with one of the linemen, him and Evan Neal the other day. They're starting to come together. They're starting to come together, but no, I wouldn't say that even Russell Wilson makes him better than Dallas right now. So that's not what I'm saying. Trina Elm said Cleveland may take Shedeur. And Cleveland couldn't go. Cleveland will be right too. I mean, Cleveland will be right. Shedeur will be right for Cleveland. My puzzle is on Cleveland right for Shedeur. You know, I know he can make it work in Cleveland, no matter what. And he's been used to small places like Jackson and even Colorado. He can make a Cleveland work. But his brand, I think, demands or certainly would be enhanced, didn't mean to rhyme this time, just messing with you. Didn't mean to rhyme, but certainly would be enhanced, placed in New York. It would be insane and incredible. And people, listen, in New York, you guys would be excited. Cleveland has had this. Cleveland has had number one pick and top quarterback drafted 100 times. In 90, about 98, 99, it led to nothing. New York getting this here pick right here, this kind of magnitude, this kind of name will bring forth great hope to the Giant fan base and bring forth great hope to the city. And they'll be like, we got our next Broadway Shedeur. Not Broadway Joe, but you'll have your next Broadway Shedeur. That's what I'm going to call it right there, man. Okay, Marcus, you also asked, do you want a wide receiver or a running back first round to help that? It depends on who is there. It depends on who is there. Ultimately, if God had me say, Michael, we're going to tell Jerry what you want to do, and we're going to get it done. If God somehow tapped like that and tapped them like that, I would say, go get me Ashton. I'm telling you every day. Every day, all day. Just because what we've been in the run game, where the last time we went up and drafted and got running backs, you know, Ezekiel Elliott came in balling, man. Remember? Emmitt Smith, you know, we moved up to get Emmitt Smith. We moved up a couple rounds to get him, not a couple rounds, but a couple picks to get Emmitt Smith, you know, and that went great. This kind of pick would do those kind of wonders for the Dallas Cowboys. There's no doubt about it. It would do those kinds of wonders. Everybody gets a little different about themselves. Remember, it's about confidence and hope. When that kid get back there, now even the linemen know I got a chance to make some money. All I have to do is just get to my guy. With the way that guy runs the ball, just get to my guy. So everybody raises hope, everybody plays better, and that thing becomes contagious. You give me Genty all day long. I'll take him. I like a couple receivers that we have in this draft, and a couple receivers that I've been watching and seeing where everybody say, you know, this guy's going to go with Dallas, and this guy will go to Dallas in all the mock drafts. You know, certainly Matthew Golden that they've been talking about right there, Texas. Get something. Right there at Texas. They love him. I love him. But he's a speed guy. You know what I mean? He's going to give you that speed guy up the field that can do some things for you. Hold on, I'm looking up some more to tell you about. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Tedero McMillan has become.
That's what I said. Tedero McMillan. That's the guy. 2025. That's the dude. I was just trying to get that name, guy. Tedero McMillan. Let me tell you why I said this. Matt Golden, it's more of a speed guy. And you guys saw last year, Brandon Cooks couldn't run anymore. I mean, I'm seeing guys sit at 15, 20 yards on a speed guy. That's cardinal sin. You can't sit 15, 20 yards on a speed guy. You can't sit 15, 20 yards on our slow guy. If I'm the slow guy, you can't sit there. I can fool you. So obviously there was no confidence in his speed anymore. Matt Golden give you that speed again. But boy, I can't pronounce that last name. I want to. How do you pronounce that dude last name again? I want to tutorial. McLean. I know his last name McLean. How do you? Tetaroa tutorial. That dude. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but watching that dude right there remind me a lot of Drake London. McMillan, man, he's a big dude. He goes up and get the ball. He high points the ball. Because remember, give me another speed guy, be great because you're going to knock the top off of it. And I would take that. But I'm going to need those plays to be made over the top. Over the top. And the percentage over the top plays that are made in the game drops drastically from that big, solid, all-time Mike Irvin type receiver. Okay. So who tutorial T McMillan. Let me just say that. McMillan. Let me just call him T. That's what I'm gonna do. Till I get his name, out of respect for the brother and his hard work, I'm gonna just call him T McMillan. That's what I'm gonna call him. Just put that T in there. Listen, a big fella like this, now, dude, now I don't have to throw those high percentage failure plays over the top because my speed guy is doing it. Now I can come back and say, hey man, let's run some 15-yard outs. Let's run some curl routes. Let's run some 12-yard curls. Give me a 20-yard in. And I'll open up that whole football field. That whole football field. Now I got also CeeDee Lamb roaming in the middle of the area with a big presence outside that goes up and get the ball. So yeah, if you got T McMillan out, right, and you got to have a corner and since you're just a big physical guy, you bring a safety over the top. Now all I'm going to do is motion CeeDee Lamb in that area, and if you already got a corner and a safety over the top of him, you got a linebacker on CeeDee Lamb, or you got you got your third corner. You see what I'm saying? I can do damage with that. Either way, the speed or the big guy. But the speed is a lower percentage thing than the big guy. But if I get great runs, that solves everything. If you give me a great run, then I'll go a great runner like Ashton Jitty. Then I can go find another receiver and make that triplet combination of Dak, CeeDee, and Ashton the championship groove. Because we know that can make a championship groove too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a lot in that. It's a lot in that, man. So I ventured off into what Dallas was doing. We were really talking about what to do with the Giants and everything. So it's just a lot in there. Let me get into some of this here, man. Roger going to throw for 35th TD, 35 TDs and 4,500 yards next season. Hey, you see, and that right there, Trevasis, let me tell you something. That's Rodgers' downfall right there. Right there. That's the problem. And that's why I've been worried. Because I want Aaron to feel Aaron. But I want Aaron to feel humility here and say, I'm a man without a club. I'm a man without a club right now. And too many people still think he can throw for 35 touchdowns and 4,500 yards. And then too many people are trying to get him to that so he can win his own personal battles with the press on. But I'm not asking him to do that. You know, I've said all along, Aaron goes to Pittsburgh, he can open up that offense. That offense has been stale for years. And they haven't given him a viable real quarterback in Pittsburgh in years. He can open up that offense and bring an inside presence to go with George Pickens and DK Metcalf outside, and he can do some incredible things. So I need him to have input in Pittsburgh, but I need him not coming into an organization feeling he's doing to dominate because they give him control over that organization, and I've seen that play out already enough. So that's all I'm saying. I want to see him go there. I just don't want to see him get messed up and mess up what they have there. And you heard Ken Ward say, "Are you coming or not?" And I know you can try to fix that stuff and ice it over, but once stuff is said, man, I'm telling people, I tell people this too: be careful. Stop just saying things and then try to say, "Oh no, I was joking. No, I was playing." Especially if it hurts somebody, because nobody can. It's not like they can forget it. If it hurts, even though you come back later and say, "Man, I was just joking. I was just playing. They still didn't forget it. And though you may let it go, they still didn't forget it. And if it come back in that same area some other time, 2 or 3 times, then they're going to say, man, you really got something here. You keep coming back to this. You see what I'm saying? So I would be careful when you say anything to people that you know is going to mess with them, because they can't forget what they heard. That's just to remember. That's just the truth. Luke the Don, what's up? Remember what Stefanski did with Kurt in Minnesota? I think he can do the same with number 2. I do too, dog. I'm with you on that. It ain't just what he did. It's what he did everywhere. Stefanski is a very good coach. And Shador in Cleveland, I ain't got no doubt in my mind, that would be a good combination, because that's the same thing we're talking about. I want an offensive-minded guy that has this offense that's going to build around Shador, and certainly Stefanski is that. Kevin has been caught in as hard a place as any coach can ever get caught in with the Deshaun Jack Watson situation. And I have to confess, I was the first one that said, man, Cleveland got to steal. Think about it now. If that thing would have worked out, if Deshaun could have gotten back to half the man he was on the football prior to. Right now, he'd be making $40 million when the top guys are getting 60. You see, if he was playing like his top self, they would have him locked in at 40 with the top guys at 60. And that's why I thought at the time that was a good deal, because I was saying if he can get back to that playing and they got him at that, I don't get a guarantee at all. That's a good deal. But Deshaun never came back. So that played out the way it played out. And now that puts Stefanski in the hardest situation I may have ever been in, have ever seen in the NFL since watching it. So I'm telling you, that's a great coach. Shador could do real good with Stefanski. And all you guys who hit me up saying Dion, let me say, to the New York Giants stuff. When I say it, Brian DeBoer's bringing in Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston to try to save your job this year. Shador Sanders is going to be your future. And if your future don't go well and is not too much longer, like another year or 2 years with Coach DeBoer, then you may, in New York, even begin Dion and come get your coach. Because the Giants got to sit there and look at every coach if they make a change in the next year or two, if they draft Shador. Who do you think they're going to say, yeah, what head coach you think can bring the best out of our young quarterback? Oh, what is right? His dad turnaround programs have been winning. Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? That's the 1, 2, and 3. The board, organization, and what they got to do moving forward. Shador Sanders is your pick if I'm the New York Giants. That's all I'm saying right there. Well, who else just signed? Now, I want to talk about too. What you guys think on Stephon Diggs? Stephon Diggs signed with the New England Patriots. Yeah. On this, a couple of things I thought. Stephon Diggs can still play and still one of the top players, top receivers in the league. Certainly in the top half of the league. Patriots signed Stephon Diggs to a 3-year, $69 million deal, $33 million a year. $26 million is guaranteed. I like that deal for the New England Patriots. This is a bona fide, no doubt, number one receiver. Going over with the young quarterback and going to a place that I think will serve him well in this sense. They have such great tradition in winning. And now he's coming in again with the job to lift up a whole receiving room like he did when he went to Minnesota. That's what Stephon Diggs did in Minnesota, you know, and before he went to Buffalo, where he had 100 receptions every year, and you know, and then ended up in Houston and got hurt. You're getting a bona fide number one, and they needed that bona fide number one. That's that's great. That's a great get. Now, here again, when I told you how things just repeat itself, it's funny like this. Now I see the Patriots, but that's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference right there. That's the difference. Because I was about to say, you know, I was about to tie Stephon Diggs into Ocho Cinco. Stephon Diggs, Ocho Cinco. You said, Michael, how are you tying these two together? Ocho Cinco, you remember when he went to New England, left Cincinnati with New England, everybody was talking about that talent in New England will do well. But it never worked out. It fizzled out. And then the words got out that Chad Ochocinco wouldn't be in the right places for the routes. Like he didn't know the playbook is what they were saying. But the reality is Chad, like Diggs, sometimes like to play their own game. They'll run their own counter route. And you have to know this. See, Chad went over and doing it in this real strict environment. We're going to do it this way, when it was Belichick and Brady. And they couldn't get him on the football field, though he had the talent. He could not, for some reason, pick up that offense that they had, and it limited his ability to get on the field. You see, and with all the discipline that Belichick laid on the team, that made it difficult. But now, with what they have there, the coach that they just got there, and the way that he works with players, and the way that Diggs is, and the Drake May, and you know, now instead of Belichick and Brady, two of the greatest, no, not two of the greatest, two of the greatest ever. You got Drake May, who's still searching for himself. And Mike Vrabel, who has already started and got a great climb going on trying to make his way into the great coach conversation. He started great, did some great things in Tennessee, now gets to come home and then put his stamp on it. This is why I believe it'll work. Tom and Bill was so strict, and they were all, well, they had to keep a tight noose around it. That's how they wanted what they wanted. That's how they did what they did. But Vrabel's he's going to keep it tight, but loosen it up a little bit. And that may make a room for Stephon Diggs, who likes to make up his own routes and likes to be creative with the quarterback. You saw that happen with Josh Allen. You got a slant route, now route a slant and come back out. You know, things like that. And it works a lot of times. But sometimes it doesn't work, and you got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? So I love Stephon Diggs now going to the Patriots and solidifying a wide receiver room that hadn't been solidified since Julian Edelman walked out the door. That's what I'm going to say. Since Julian Edelman walked out the door. Y'all look at this draft order. Okay, I told y'all, I won't talk about this draft. Talk a little bit about this draft. Cam Ward looks, because I want to start with the Cam Ward stuff. Cam Ward, man, so much. Cam Ward looked incredible at his pro day in Miami. I expected that. I really wanted to go and be down there, but let me tell you, that kind of stuff, man. I'll hit them up and I said, man, I'll hit people. I want to go, but if I'm there, then I get people turning to me, trying to ask questions, and I always feel funny about that. Like it's just kids. I just want to watch them throw. I don't want him to see me coming and then people come turn the cameras on me when it's his day. I'm his boy. I want to be able to come and say, man, I just came to check you out, man. Did anybody, I'm just at Miami. I want to see my boy because I told you I'm so happy for him and I'm so thankful for him and what he's done for Miami. They've been talking about Miami about to have the #1 pick. If it's Cam, if it ain't Cam, it's Shador. Either way, I feel like I win. That's my nephew. I love Shador. Either one of my nephews be first pick. Even if it's Travis, I love Travis. So I'm happy. I'm happy for all the kids, whoever gets that honor. But I'm happy for all the kids. But just what Cam has done, man. I saw him the other day working with some high school kids. Y'all don't think those high school kids are going to consider Miami because they talked to Cam, because he's right there. Cam Ward was right there. Then they saw him go right out here and become the first pick in the draft. And I mean, I'm just so happy for him. I'm happy for the University of Miami, who we haven't had a quarterback drafted like this, and I don't know how many years it's been. And this kid deserves it. And I love what Coach Mario Cristobal, because I got a chance to watch him all year, Cam Ward, and he talked about the kind of leader he is, and he's definitely going to change the franchise. I believe that. I know I've seen this kid up close. I believe that. This kid's different. I told you guys long ago when the one kid was working out in Fort Lauderdale, he said, hey, with Lamar Jackson, you're not going to be in Baltimore catching passes this year. And if you don't get down here and work out with us, you ain't going to be in Miami catching passes. That's leadership. And leadership in a time where brothers are afraid to talk to brothers like that. But people are afraid to talk, period. And with everything going on, you're afraid to even lead like that because somebody may say, well, I was having a mental breakdown, and and you don't even get into all of that there. Oh, you don't respect mental illness, and you're just trying to lead a football team. So this dude here has been above reproach to me. He's handled things great. And I'm just so happy and thankful, and I thank God for him, and I'm looking for his best. Now, right now, all the mock drafts got him going to Tennessee. I say to me, here's that circle again. Here's that circle and all these things running back around each other again. Because I swear to you, he reminds me of Steve McNair. I promise you, on the football field, McNair was the baddest dude in the world, man. And as long as McNair, you guys know, all you Tennessee Titan fans, as long as McNair was on the field, you felt like you had a chance. It doesn't matter. He was an Iron Man. He wasn't going to get hurt. He was going to give you everything he had. God rest his soul. God bless his soul. But I'm going to tell you something. You knew as long as he was on the field, he was going to give you everything he got. And he turned around that organization, a fresh new organization. And he put him on high, put him up there. He was must-watch TV. And I'm telling you guys right now, Tennessee, if you get my nephew Cam Ward, this is must-watch TV. You're going to see something. You'll see something. I got a chance to watch with all 5 of my eyes. 2 in my head and the 3 in my name. All 5 eyes saw Cam and said, that's something special. And if Tennessee gets him, they got something special. So, and even all that, guys, all of this is one thing I do hate about the draft and this process, because once these kids play so hard, then it seems like we go through this process only to bring people down and to try to knock them off their porch, and off their perch and everything. So I've heard so much about Shador and all of how his personality is, but it's just crazy. It's off the rock, don't make any sense. I can't wait. I just can't wait to see those guys in the National Football League playing on Sunday. You guys got that. You know what it's going to be, and I can't wait to see it. I know I only got about 10 more minutes, man. I want to turn my attention to talking about some of this basketball because I told you guys my appreciation for you has been incredible. And bringing me into this thing where I'm working on this thing here all the time, my bracket and trying to figure out who's playing who and where is that, it's been incredible. And now March Madness, we're down to the Sweet 16. Y'all know the matchups, right? Sweet 16. They 8 games in the Sweet 16 is Auburn versus Michigan, Ole Miss and Michigan State. Florida versus Maryland. I'm watching Florida all the way because I got to pick. Well, as I told you guys, Cynthia Freely helped me. I mean, I just copied her just like I've done in high school before. I kind of copied the smart girl. I kind of copied the smart girl here. You know what I mean? Florida versus Maryland, and we both have Florida. Well, she does, so me does. Have Florida winning it all, so that's my top. But Texas Tech versus Arkansas, can't wait to watch that game. You know, Duke at Arizona. Everybody talking. This Duke team, Duke is killing everybody right now. Duke has been, and Flag is just getting back. That's their top player. So that's going to be interesting to see. He's played the last couple of games. I think he's averaged about 16, 17 points. But he's still growing, while Duke is slamming everybody. Alabama and BYU will play, Houston at Purdue, and Tennessee at Kentucky. All number one seeds still is a lot. What's interesting here, though, is you remember we used to have those big upsets. So you get a 15-2 or upset or 16. You know, it really got 16-1, but all 4 seeds, all number 1 seeds are still alive. But will we ever see those things? Will we ever have those big time upsets? Now that college basketball is shaking out the way it's shaking out, like the top guys over at the smaller schools now are going to go to the bigger school because of the NIL deals and the portal. As soon as you're averaging 25, 30 over there, you want to step up and see if you can get to the next league and average 20. You see, so now that money, those bottom teams, it makes it hard for them to compete. So it just may be a chance. We may not see much of that anymore. But I like seeing it like this too. I like seeing all 4 number 1 seeds still alive. I like seeing the best versus the best. And let's see who is the best. So I'm going to keep watching that. I still got mine. I still got Florida. Because out of Florida, Auburn, Duke, and Houston. I could pull for Houston since it's Texas still, but it's Florida for me. You know what I'm saying? It is Florida for me. I want also, guys, what I'm hyped about, I'm about to watch now some basketball because it's coming into the playoffs, man. LeBron James came back the other day. Lakers played Chicago, and they got spanked. They got spanked, and they got to play fast, man. I don't know. I'm too drawn into the Luka stuff over there, you know. So they got to get together and get going real fast before this thing turns and the playoff turns and we coming right around the corner. But I didn't worry about it the other day. Let me tell you why. LeBron's coming back. They were off. Lakers off shooting the 3 and everything. LeBron was off. I don't think LeBron's a great shooter, but he's a good shooter. But certainly not even a good shooter when he's coming back off a leg injury and worried about getting hurt again and don't have quite the ups. Because to shoot a jumper, it's a lot in your legs. It's a lot in your legs. So I just want to get LeBron, get him back in shape so he can run the floor late in the game. I'm going to trust Luka and AR to shoot the jumper. LeBron, just get healthy and you can get to the basket. That's how the Lakers will get to where we need them to be because I want to see him. I want to see him go up against the Boston Celtics if they make the finals because I don't – Mavericks not making it. So we can stop. We can stop with that. And I can follow Luka and be a Luka fan. And I'm telling y'all, straight up, I'm following Luka. because I'm a local fan. So just letting you know, man. Guys, I appreciate having that moment just to chat and talk. Let me take 5 minutes for something that I'm going to probably talk about on some time this week that I've been stewing with before I let you guys go. I've been vexed here with this. I don't know if y'all heard about Yellow Beezy. Just got arrested for capital murder of a friend, one of his friends, another rapper. It was Mo3. Like, I'm blown away. Like, I've sat with this man, spoken to this man, been with this man. And I was, see a man, young man that's trying to better himself in life and work hard. I thought he's a hard worker. And then to get this allegation, blew my mind, man. And I've been thinking about it, thinking on it. I've been wanting to talk and say something about it. But, I didn't want to be out of line. And certainly, I know he's going to be dealing with some stuff. And I don't want to start talking and somebody says something and say, Michael said, and it gets back to any kind of thing that Michael, I'm just saying, this blows my mind. And I did think about even what I went through with my son, when I told everybody, this rapping thing, all of it, like it's all, it becomes right. Everybody rapping, and it's the hardest stuff in the world. It's just what we rap about, and then you feel like you got to live up to what you've been saying. It's like, okay, now you've been saying it, now you got to do it, put up or shut up. So, that's what I worry about. And that's the scary part. And I was thinking about this. I'm going to reach out to my man, Cam, and talk about it. Because a lot of people, you know what they did? When I was talking about my son, I said, hey, he's a rapper. He raps hard music, but he grew up in the gated community and all of that. I wasn't saying it to put my son down. I was saying this is what we do. We glorify this thug life. And my son used to, I got mad at him because he said, Dad, I said, son, why are you getting arrested carrying a gun? Stop carrying a gun. I don't have a gun. Stop carrying a gun. He's Dad, it's the people I'm with. I said, son, it's the business I'm in. I said, son, then you need to find some be with other people. Because that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Then you shouldn't be a part of it. And all of that. Yeah, I don't have anything against music or against rap. I have everything against watching my little young brothers do this. I got one of my cars. This car I just picked up a Hummer, this new Hummer, EV Hummer, and I got it wrapped all in white. And I was talking to my son, and I said, son, he said, man, Dad, you drive your car, you looking at me funny, all of this, but this is what you do. And it's just always at a hostile level. It's a hostile level. But the music is always hostile. So it's almost like we feel like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, is what I'm saying. Young brothers, if you're gonna rap, you're gonna rap about the hard stuff, man. Let's not make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. All the guys talking about, I'm gonna make you part of a wet t-shirt concept test and all that. That's good word, those are words. We know you're not really doing that, or you wouldn't be out free to share those words. I was saying then that it's not who you are. It's just the art and what sells. TV does it, newspaper do it, everybody do it. They put on what sells. I understand, since we were the least affluent group, we come in and we jump into what sells most. And to us, that's what sells. It sells to us. and crossover music. They sing it too. But but the guy that did my car, when he wrapped my car the other day, he wrapped my car, right? He brought it back to me and he had it on a country station. And I've been riding around listening to country music. Because I'm busy riding. But I'm riding around listening to country music. And I'm getting out the car laughing and smiling at, at the bar drinking whiskey or whatever, as opposed to getting out the car feeling some kind of way because I heard something else. All I'm saying, peeps, if you're going to sing and you're going to, just make sure we separate that from real life. I don't know what happened with Yellow and his friend. I'm sad to see that they were once great friends, and now they're no longer friends, and one is gone, and the other one's being accused of murder. What beef? What beef can get that bad? What can somebody say to make you make you want to take them out, make you want to kill them, make you go? I just don't get that. And it's just somebody saying stuff. It's not like somebody cutting you, hurting you. But I just don't get that. I get beef. I understand. I understand you ain't gonna like everybody, and you don't. Some people don't get along. But that I don't understand. And for young men, period, and certainly young black men, it's hard enough to make it through this life without all those extra dangers. It becomes almost impossible to get past 30 when you start adding in all of these dangers. That's all. I'm just saying. I just felt so bad, man, for my friend. And he is my friend. And I don't know what happened with him and his friend. But I'm praying for all families that have been impacted in a major way with this whole situation. Peace, let's keep chatting. Let's keep talking. Let's keep sharing. So whenever one of us or any of us are going through something like that, man, say something. Say something, man, so you can hear somebody else say something back to you. Because if not, we just get locked in our own heads. In our own mind, we make shit bigger than it really is. He said, what? We just see him doing. What he said? He said, like, what are you joking? Is it, man? You talking about you're gone. You care about what somebody said? Who cares about that? That's going to get you there? There? And you come walk up in my house and grab my daughter and you do some stuff. I don't know. They got nothing to do. Ain't nobody in this earth or nobody in this world, nor the next, will keep me from you. Because you said something? Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on. We can't do that. We can't do that. So, trust. If you guys are dealing with anything like that, say something. So you can hear somebody else say something back to you to help you realize you're just caught up in your own head. Shit ain't that serious. Ain't that serious. Not worth you giving up your time for the rest of your life. We don't want to do that. We want to spend our time right here in the locker room with the playmaker. That's what we want to do. Talking about how to live our best life and how to get there together. That's what we will do. My peeps, I apologize for closing with that, but the thought was heavy on my mind. And I told you, this is where we come to share. So I came to share. Let's pray for both families and pray for me because I am worried about my friend. God bless my peeps.